I have a message to the divas and the Andrew Tates of the world out there, whom are individuals that, the kinds of individuals that devote much of their energy and youth and fertility in attracting members of the opposite sex. In other words, they use their youth and fertility for self-serving reasons. Whereas the proper orientation is to be of service to the opposite sex. When you find, if you're a woman and you find your man, or if you're a man and you find your woman, orient yourself toward being of service toward that person. See, there's nothing inherently wrong with wanting to make yourself attractive to the opposite sex, but that is only supposed to be a very temporary, largely a temporary thing that you invest in. Now that doesn't mean you should let yourself go after the pairing is formed. You should try to do what you can to maintain a certain level of health out of respect for your partner. But that shouldn't be the focus. The mental focus should really be on what can I do to be of service to my partner. For instance, if the man and woman have made themselves attractive such that they have formed a pair bond, once the pair bond is formed, perhaps a division of labor takes place and he decides, I'm going to handle this aspect of life, and she says, I'm going to handle this other aspect of life, and that way two of us dealing with one life together, we're going to make things a lot easier for each other. But even within such a system of service, people can take their domain, that the thing that they have decided to contribute to the relationship, and do it in a selfish way. For instance, this is a very stereotypical example of the woman decides she's going to do the meals, for example. She's going to do the cooking. Well, let's say the only cooking she does is food that she likes. Or she has a very strict dietary philosophy, and she basically just demands that what she cooks is suited for her, and everyone else should just accept that. Right? That would be a selfish way to offer that service to your family. The man stereotypically might earn the money, but how much of that money is being spent on physical possessions or aspects of their life that she really enjoys and appreciates? Maybe she loves to travel and the man doesn't like to travel, and so all of his money goes into Xboxes, video games, and computers and technology, right? Because that's his domain of work. Sure, he may be providing the financial base for the family, but largely what he's spending his money on is not in things that she would have liked to spend money on if she was the one earning the money. So we need to take this to a whole other level. I mean, obviously we are many levels behind even a base standard of service. Most couples are like, screw division of labor, screw this idea of service. I'll do me, you do you. That's kind of the paradigm that most couples have fallen back on. But it's not effective. I don't think it's effective. There's nothing romantic about it, that's for sure. There's nothing beautiful about it. It's nowhere nearly as fruitful, in my opinion, and it prevents a pair bond from forming. You know, I think a very underrated reason why relationships fail is couples don't even allow a pair bond to form. They're like two rocks just butting up against each other. Whereas people should be more like clay when they get into a relationship. They should be softer. And this is why there's an advantage to getting into a relationship young, because you're not as formed, and so you can come together and both be very soft and malleable and form into a singular entity. And actually literally form a pair bond, you know? And then, of course, there's even relationships where someone is soft like clay and another one is hard. And the soft one is like trying to pair bond with this rock, but the rock just refuses to change. No change. That person is pretty much solid, hard. They've fully formed. And there you are as the soft one trying to form a pair bond and just can't. You feel like you've bonded, but all you've done is wrapped yourself around it. And then when they leave you, eventually you're left hollowed out. You feel this opening. And they're totally fine. You know, they've moved on with their life, you know, as if nothing ever happened. So, yeah, to the divas out there, the Andrew Tates, or I don't know, is there a name for that? Devos? Oftentimes too, this idea of over devoting your energy toward being attractive to the opposite sex has gone digital, has gone completely digital. It's no longer analog, it's no longer in the real world. It's just women trying to gain fans online and then men doing the same. Although it's more rare for men to do it digitally. That's kind of a feminine trait, in my opinion, to seek ephemeral attention. That's much more feminine. So yeah, if you're in a relationship and it's a struggle, just remember that the proper orientation is to think to yourself, how can I be of more service to my partner? And they may not be of that mindset, right? And so they may not be reciprocating. But the right thing to do is to orient yourself in service toward the other person. If you can do that, at least half of the relationship is functional, in my opinion. And if you can contribute the functional part, then do it. And if you're not willing to live with the fact that it may very well never be reciprocated, if you can't live with that, then end it. Or simply come to terms with the fact that you've chosen someone that was a hard rock, and accept that that's who they are, and accept that there are only certain things you'll be able to get out of that kind of a relationship. But do orient yourself properly toward it. Anyway, that's my thought for today. It's been a while. I hope you all had a great Christmas and that you have a happy new year tonight and a great year in 2025. Numerologically, those numbers add up to 9, which is the number of completion. So maybe that means big news for next year. Something is coming to an end, and that means something else is about to begin. So hopefully that brings you some hope and solace. Take care of yourself. Don't drink and drive. Stay healthy and happy. Bye.